Well, I think I learned more this week than I learned during the game. You know, I think one thing that was really evident to me is that we weren't going to let Missouri beat us twice. You know, meaning when we came back on Monday, we were ready to work and prepare and move forward. And it was disappointing. You know, we made some. We all could have been better. You know, it starts with me, and we all could have been better. And unfortunate the way things shook down at the end, because I do firmly believe we're a better football team. But only actions matter, right? So what happened, and I just learned that we have a pretty resilient crew that cares a lot about what they're doing.
Why do you think they had so much success throwing the ball deep on you?
Well, you know, I'll be honest with you. Part of it was inexperience, and because I don't know if there was anything that really caught us by surprise in terms of what they did, or any pictures that we hadn't seen in our past. We may not have repped them a whole bunch of times that week, but I think it was all pictures that we'd seen, and we were in relatively safe calls-based defense. And you know, I just think guys were pretty. You know, sometimes you have conflict guys, right? Guys that are part of the run fit, but also are supposed to help overlap in the play action pass. And I think sometimes our conflict guys got a little bit juiced up to get into the run fit a little quickly, and got left some one-on-one matchups over the top, and we weren't able to win them. So, and it's just incredible that it happened over and over again. You know, sometimes that happens. For it to happen 4 times in a game is rare, and hopefully we get the lesson learned there.
On the long run play, I think you guys got caught in man-to-man.
Yeah, we were in a pressure, and you know, we kind of got out of a gap, and yeah, it got us, and we weren't able to knock it down with the post player, and that's how it ended up getting out.
But the way to rectify that, you've got other guys in position that should have been able to get where they needed to be to make the stop.
Yeah, I think there was you know, again, I'm not putting any of it on the players. It's me and it's us as coaches that we've got to get that stuff cleaned up. But I thought sometimes our angles to the ball were left something to be desired. I think sometimes we took some I don't know, lazy angles. You know, not lazy in terms of us not running, but lazy in terms of just kind of sloppy up the field angles, and balls got cut back across our face several times, and what could have been minimal damage plays turned into bigger ones.
What are you seeing from the UCF offense?
I think they're incredibly explosive, and I think they do a good job of doing what they do. I mean, I don't think they deviate a whole lot from their history. Whether, you know, they've played, I think when you run the quarterback as much as they do, you're going to get quarterbacks banged up, and they've played with multiple quarterbacks in the past, and really didn't change much from what they typically would do. But explosive in the pass game. They do a lot of things to try to get one-on-one matchups on the outside. I know they have an RPO element. Sometimes it's based on access. Sometimes it's based on numbers in the box. I know they run the quarterback a lot, which is a challenge when you combine the RPO with the quarterback run. And a lot of good athletes, you know, and an experienced group up front of guys that maybe haven't spent their entire time at UCF, but guys that have been all conference players in other leagues, or have transferred in from different institutions and are playing at a high level. Good, really good offensive football team.
How much does the defensive game plan change with Daniel Green out and Jake Clifton out there at linebacker?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to do what we do. Ultimately, we got to put people in positions to be successful, and you know, Daniel's a big piece of that, just because of his experience and because of, you know, his ability. But we have guys that are capable to do the things that we're asking them to do. I'm excited for Austin Romaine and the challenge that he has, and you know, he's earned this. You know, since he got on campus in the wintertime and went through spring practice, we knew he was a good football player with a lot of instincts, and physically, I think he's pretty mature for his age. And he's flanked by 2 of our better football players, you know, Austin Moore and Des Purnell, who are, I think, sensational and will help him and help keep him grounded throughout this whole thing. And will help him in some of the communication and some of that stuff also.
There's Austin Moore pick up more duties in communication.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing, kind of a blessing in disguise this week is because of the tempo that UCF operates at. I don't know how much communication there's really going to be, but certainly both those guys will have to help. Kobe Savage will have to help. Guys that have played a lot of football are going to have to help pick up the slack, and it's still going to ultimately lie in Austin Romaine's lap, but I think he'll have a lot of good counsel around him.
How's Javon Banks progressed?
He's doing a good job for us. You know, I think sometimes for us that nose position is a little bit of a unsung hero, but you know, he's a big factor in the pass rush as we saw last week, and we've known that since he got here. He's just got so much twitch and ability to, I don't know, lack of a better term, be slippery. And I think the three-headed monster that we've got at nose right now with him and Uso and Damian Elalio is really, really formidable.
Anything else? Was there a certain yardage spot on the field you were definitely trying to keep Missouri away from on that last drive?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be quite where it was, but you know, I think we started to get a little bit tighter once they got around the 50. And, you know, we had a couple of alignment errors at the end there that maybe gave them a couple of dink and dunk things that got them a little closer than I would have liked. It was interesting how patient they were in the beginning of that drive. And then, you know, really we didn't give up any of the explosives. It just but I always kind of have in my head, you know, I go through it with Chili Davis, our special teams coordinator, every week, kind of what is that line, and then I always kind of extend it 5 yards beyond that. So I was kind of thinking if we could keep them behind the 40, we'd be in pretty good shape, and it turned out not to be accurate.